welcome back to my channel. So in this video I want to talk about the C virus, since apparently YouTubers are being flagged for saying the actual name of the virus for whatever reason. That's really weird to me. I get cuz I was told that YouTube is flagging videos talking about this because they want to stop the spread of misinformation. So I do understand that to like a certain degree, but whatever. But I want to talk about how it's affecting college students in particular, since I'm a college student. This whole situation has just been a mess. I just don't understand. Well, I do understand. I do understand, the importance of, I guess, social distancing, isolating yourself, quarantining yourself. But I just think that it's gone a little bit too far. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously the virus is spreading relatively fast, but it's not as deadly as people are making it seem. Your chances of dying from the coronavirus are very, very slim. And I actually just saw an article, I don't know how true it is, but I just saw an article on Facebook about this guy. He apparently is the oldest guy to survive the coronavirus. He's 103 years old. But with that being said, the elderly are still the most at risk for dying from the coronavirus, and also people who just have poor immune systems or respiratory systems. But with that being said, as I'm talking about this, I'm not taking away from those that are actually directly affected, people who have it, people who are struggling with it. I'm not taking away from them at all. They definitely have it worse than us college kids. But I do want to bring it up because I feel like we just really got screwed over, and I want to talk about it. I guess for my personal experience. So, all of this happened towards the end of spring break, right? And we saw that Harvard, I guess, was one of the first. They may not have even been the first, but they were the first to kind of hit the news about it. They basically made all of their students move out by March 15th. A lot of their students had nowhere to stay. I mean, Harvard is a super hard school to get into, so I'm sure there are people from all over who go to Harvard, and people had no place to stay. International students were scrambling, trying to figure out what they were going to do because they couldn't get plane tickets and arrangements made by that day, but everybody was forced to leave. So everybody was up in arms about Harvard kicking their students out. So I was like, oh my gosh, what's Mason gonna do? So we get an email that Wednesday of our spring break, and the email basically says that they're gonna keep residence halls open for people who need to stay on campus. I was like, great. And everybody was happy about that. I even saw some people saying look, George Mason is handling this the right way. They're making sure that people have a place to stay. At least that's what we thought. So then we get another email that basically it's a form. It's a stay request form that you have to fill out to stay on campus. I'm like, oh cool, bet. So I go to fill out the application, and I put my reasonings. I put travel restrictions because I did have travel restrictions. My mom can't just come and get me. I'm very reliant on other people for transportation. I can't drive myself to and from college, so it was easier for me just to stay on campus, right? So I filled out the form like they said, and then as soon as I hit submit, I saw that your stay request is waiting to be reviewed, and you have to, it was your request is waiting to be reviewed, and you'll be notified whether or not it was approved or denied. So I was like, wait, approved or denied? So that's when I started to get concerned, because I'm like, wait a minute, so they could tell me, no, you can't stay on campus, and then that puts me in a bind, right? So it also says too that to give them at least 2 business days. Mind you, they gave us this application on Wednesday, right? So Friday comes and I have to go back to campus with my roommate. She's my ride, and she had to be back on Friday. So we get back to campus on Friday. Still haven't heard anything yet. And then Saturday, my roommate gets her stay request decision back, and she got denied. And I was like, oh shoot, because me and her put the same reasoning for staying on campus. So I was like, oh Lord, so I guess my chances are slim. And then Sunday, I was denied housing access. And for people who either didn't fill out the form, or for people who got denied, they were cutting off your access on Monday. So I filled out the form the day of. I filled out the form to stay on campus the day that it was released. I didn't get my decision back until the day before I had to leave. And it just was such a big inconvenience because I had just got there. We had just bought a ton of groceries to last us a couple of weeks, and we had to go right back home, which is why I'm here. So it's crazy. It's a huge inconvenience, and I feel like I understand it from the university's perspective. Like they probably never had to deal with something like this before, so they're probably like scrambling, trying to figure out how to go about this the right way. But at the same time, I felt like the communication was not clear. From what I've been hearing, not from them, but like from other students, their goal was to keep international students on campus, and everybody who has to travel domestically, they basically just were not going to get approved. And I just feel like the communication could have been more clear on that, because they made it seem like anyone could stay on campus if they wanted to. They didn't really make it seem like, had I known my chances were low, I probably would have been more prepared. And then I've also seen too, because now we're getting into this extended spring break, so all of our professors can get ready to move to online classes. And they just put out an email yesterday telling us how future procedures are going to go as far as people who didn't even get a chance to come back to campus, which is another thing too. Some people didn't get a chance to come back from spring break at all and get their stuff, and they were denied like whatever day they requested to come back and get their stuff. Like, so I have friends who didn't have no clothes, left a ton of their stuff back at their dorm, and couldn't get back in, right? So this week and going into March 25th, I believe they're letting George Mason students come back and get what they need. This isn't like a formal move out. They just want to let people get what they need for the time being until next week, which cool. I'm really glad that they're doing that, because that's not fair for people who were on spring break and they have stuff that they need to get and they weren't allowed to. So I'm glad that they're doing this, right? However, I also noticed that in the email they said that past Wednesday, March 25th, that you won't be able to live on campus without falling into one of these categories. And then they listed out they listed out reasons that they would let you stay on campus. Now, why couldn't they give us these reasons beforehand in the initial email so it could have been more clear? Because I had a roommate who put that she didn't have Wi-Fi at her house and she was accepted. And then I saw that that was one of the requirements that they ended up putting on the email yesterday. And I'm like, why don't you guys put this stuff out beforehand so I can know, okay, since I don't meet any of this criteria, I can't be on campus. I just feel like the communication should have been more clear. And it's just a lot of stuff that's being unknown, and it's hard to I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna hope that the reason why everything is so unorganized is because they just weren't prepared. I would hate that. I would hate it to be a situation where they knew what they were gonna do, but they didn't want to say anything yet, or like they already had plans in place, but they just are waiting to tell us. No, tell us as soon as like you are updated about it, cause like us trying to scramble and trying to like get stuff out our dorms now, and now the people who got approved to stay on campus, some of them might have to move out too. Like it's a mess. I don't know what's gonna happen for this next week, because they're telling people to come and get their stuff but not to take out everything, which is weird. I feel like if we're gonna move out in April anyway, like officially, I should be able to move out my stuff, like, because I kind of want to get a bin and stuff so I don't have to carry everything to my mom's car. But now I don't even know if I'll be able to do that. Where did sunlight go? Anyway, yeah, so I don't know, like, it's just, this whole thing is a mess. Like, every college student in the United States is struggling right now. Like, our like lives have just been turned upside down. There are so many things that were supposed to happen for the rest of the semester that's now, you know, like changed or canceled for that matter. You know, people can't finish their research credit, people can't finish their lab requirements. Sorry. I also saw too that someone had said in like one of my Facebook groups that their friend can't graduate anymore this semester because there was like a research thing or a lab thing that they needed to finish their requirements, and now they can't do that and they can't get the credit. And it's just, I really hope that that doesn't happen to many people, because that just would be a huge inconvenience. And then not only that, you know, graduation is being pushed back, and then too with graduation, right, you have seniors, you know, who are graduating and now they can't even live out the last couple months of their college experience. All the friends that they've made at college, they can't see them anymore. Maybe at graduation, but they don't get a chance to like hang out with them like that. Because think about it, when you meet people at college, we're from all over, so it's hard to meet up, and we're not even supposed to meet up because we're supposed to be quarantined and in our houses. So it is just a mess. I'm sorry if I sound different because my nose is stuffy, but yeah, it's a mess for college students right now. Like, and there's so many things that even with me and my clubs, like we were gonna do, you know, Mason Day isn't happening anymore. Like, there were so many things that we were looking forward to that just aren't gonna happen. And you know, everyone's like, oh, summer vacation starting already, but is it? We're in the house, we still have school just online. Like, it just, all of this happened so fast, like the beginning of spring break we were hearing about the coronavirus, but it just, as spring break went on, it just got worse and worse and worse, and now all colleges are shutting down, all schools are shutting down, restaurants are starting to shut down. I really hope and pray that it doesn't get bad to the point where everything is shut down and we just can't go anywhere, because that's just going to be miserable. Like, it's a lot, man, and people are losing out on work and, you know, making money. And I'm glad that there are talks of rent stopping, because if you can't work, how you gonna pay rent? And you can't make everybody homeless. Like, it's a mess for college students right now. Like, I saw someone tweet something and it was like, college students aren't ever going to forget 2020, and that's so true. 2020 has been a mess. It's been a downward spiral. Like, I just don't even know anymore. Like, it's just like, January was a mess with, you know, the fires in Australia. And then there was World War III talks, and, you know, Kobe Bryant passed away. And then February, I had some personal stuff going on in my life that was, you know, crazy. I think that's when Pop Smoke died as well. You know, it's just, it's a mess. And now the coronavirus, like, And I was hearing people tell me like, oh, you know, the coronavirus is worse than what they're saying. But now it just seems like the media is really feeding into the negativity of this virus. They're making it seem like it's so deadly when it's not. They're not talking about, shoot, I said coronavirus. Oh well. Yeah, they're talking about, like, I probably said the name of the virus like 100 times in this video, and I'm just now noticing. But shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh, they're not talking about who's surviving it. They're not talking about the good news. They're just spreading like the negative news. And I've been on like every social media, and everything that I open up, all you see is talk about this virus. You see it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, definitely, because it's trending every single day. You see it on Snapchat. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it's on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, never getting one, don't ask me. But yeah, like, it's just a mess, y'all. Like, it's a mess. 2020 is a mess. And at this point, because everyone keeps saying like, oh, you know, we're gonna start 2020 in February, we're gonna start it in March, okay, we're gonna start over in April. We're not starting over anymore, okay? 2020 is just a mess, and that's it. There's no fixing it. We can just hope for the best moving forward. Hopefully by the summertime things will start to clear up and get better. I hope, because, you know, Trump is talking about this may last until July or August. No, I'm not doing it. Absolutely not. But yeah, I hope that this is just one-time thing, and come the fall 2020 semester, things will be back to normal. I hope and pray it'll be back to normal. I don't know about y'all, this has also been like a popular topic too. We don't want to be home. Like, college kids don't want to be home right now. We want to be on campus with our friends. We'd rather be bored in our dorm with our friends than be bored at home. Like, we came to campus for a reason. So hopefully we can just tough it out through these next couple months, and come the fall, everything will be back to normal and schools will open back up. But anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts on how this virus has affected you in your life. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.